It's been said that a painter needs to know when to stop. Any thoughts on that? How do you know when to stop? How do you know when you're done? How do you know when, if I go any further, I'm going to screw this up?
Sure. I can, right as you said, it pops in my mind when I do editing or retouching. Sometimes when you're doing retouching in Photoshop, you can kind of get like carried away with it. And sometimes you have to pull yourself away and maybe even take a day to come back to it and see like, wow, I blew that out, or I put way too much color into it, or, way too many effects. So that's when, you have to decide to stop painting your picture in a sense, or put your paintbrush down.
And Christie, you do a lot of work after the photo shoot,
Yes.
correct?
Yes.
Would you say that most of your product is created in the darkrooms in a way, in the old school speak? But
I try and do as much in camera as possible, but I do absolutely shoot to edit. When I'm shooting and when I'm lighting, I know that I'm going to edit it. That being said, I always know what the final product is going to look like in terms of edits, so I shoot for that result. But yeah, it's most of it's done in post-production. The shooting part is the easier part, I guess, for me personally, and then comes the real creating after the fact, or before the fact, before I even actually edit it. So that's my process.
so I guess that's interesting to me that
Kind of backwards.
Yeah, well, 20, 30 years ago, or well beyond before that, you wouldn't have had the luxury of fixing things in post like you do today.
Right.
So how does that affect your thought process or your creative process? Is it limiting, or is it more freeing to know that you don't have to get everything
Well,
on
I
set?
think that's a little bit, you have to look at it as not fixing it. What I do in post-production, I wouldn't call it fixing. I don't use it to correct mistakes. My post-production, I use it as a tool, so I already know what I'm going to change or bend or twist or alter before I get there. I think it does in some aspects if you do make a mistake, because we all do. You do have that luxury. But for me, when I go into a job, I don't look at it as this is going to be easier because I can always fix it later. I look at it as, what do I want to change about this, and how do I need to shoot it to be able to achieve that when I get there?